It's the weekend and you have financial questions that need answering. That can only mean one thing. It's time for Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. This is the program that takes the mystery out of your financial life. We do that by answering your questions. Today, we're starting off with Patty from North Carolina. Hi, Patty. Hello, and welcome to the program.
Hi, thank you.
Of course. What can we do for you?
Well, I recently have inherited some cash, some money, and brokerage accounts. My husband died about a year and a half ago. It took a while for the estate to settle, and I have an inheritance now. I also have a little nest egg of my own, and I've got it scattered, it seems, all over the universe. You know, I've been reading financial books left and right. I've been listening to your show and others, and I'm not sure how to proceed and what I need to do to grow and protect this asset that I suddenly have.
So I'm so sorry about that. It's very weird that it is like I have a pile of money and the reason is a terrible reason. And I'm sorry about that.
Yes,
that stinks. Okay, so first of all, Patty, how old are you?
I am 65.
Let's start with number one. Are you working right now?
Yes.
How much do you earn?
Last year I earned $205,000.
Wow, that's a lot. Are you employed by a company or are you self-employed?
I'm self-employed.
Oh, congratulations. Very good. Do you put money into a retirement plan on your own behalf?
I'm putting it in a SEP IRA.
Okay. So let's start with that big bucket. In your SEP IRA, how much money is in there?
$296,200.
$296 in a SEP. Okay. Do you also have a traditional IRA, just an old one that's floating around for yourself?
I have a couple small inherited ones, and yes, I do. I also have at Fidelity, I have a regular brokerage account along with another simple IRA from my husband.
Okay, so let's just do this methodically. So other IRAs in your name, right now, what else is there? So we have 296 in the SEP. What other IRAs do you have?
Okay, I have about 39,000 in an IRA at Fidelity.
So SEP IRA 296, inherited IRA now in your name 39,000. The simple IRA, what's in that?
It's 35,950.
I'm going to call it 36 because I lived large like that.
Okay,
is that simple in his name or has it been put into your name?
I think they've all been put into my name.
Okay, good. That's good. It just cleans it up a bit. In the brokerage account, how much, and I'm sorry, let me just, before I do that, is that it for the IRAs? The SEP IRA, the traditional IRA, and the simple IRA, those three?
Yes.
Okay, great. What's in the brokerage account?
Okay, I have the plain brokerage account. I have around 360.
Okay, and that is invested how?
I have stocks and ETFs.
Okay, great. And right now, who's managing that? Is that just on sort of a little bit of autopilot, or is someone actually helping you manage that account?
I am doing Fidelity,
okay.
And I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay,
I'll tell you that.
Okay, all right, that's good. Don't worry. We're gonna work through this. So the brokerage account has 360 grand stocks and exchange traded funds.
Correct.
Okay, what other assets do you have that are accumulated in your name?
Okay, I have a Robinhood account, which is my play around account for $75,000.
By the way, I like that you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I have a Robinhood account with 75 grand in it. God bless you.
I put 300 a week in there.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm literally labeling it my play around account. Okay, continue.
Yeah. And then I have Betterment. I have a Betterment account. Yay.
Okay.
And that's got $17,000 in it.
So you said did you say 300 a month or a week into Robinhood?
it gets $50 a week, I think.
All right. Okay. So now what else do you have? Do you have some saving, play around accounts? You've got brokerage accounts. Do you have some savings or CDs or safe money that's popped aside?
Oh, I've got a lot of it.
Okay.
I do. And see, this is part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have a Premier money market account.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say 1.2 million in there.
Wait a minute. You have a 1.2 million in a money market account. Is that at Fidelity?
No, it's at a bank.
Okay.
And I know that's bad. I want, that's my highest priority is to do something with that.
Okay, fair enough. What else besides the money market? Any CDs?
Yes, I have one at Alliant Credit Union, 12-month CD for $200,000.
Okay.
I've got another money market in another bank for $388,000.
Oh my God. Okay.
I've got, let's see, in my regular savings and checking accounts, I have about $400,000.
Okay. I mean, you got plenty of cash. I'm excited because there should be no problems for you going forward in terms of what will fund your future. So we have that. Do you have kids?
I have 2 kids. They're grown.
And they're fine on their own?
Yes.
Okay, good. You own your own home?
Yes.
What would you guess it's worth?
Probably about 1.5 million.
Is there a mortgage that remains on it?
Yes.
And how much?
About 300.
Do you know the interest rate offhand?
It's about a little under 4%.
Okay. Is there a second home?
There are 3 other houses that are rental properties.
Oh my gosh. Do you like having these properties?
I love having those properties.
You know what you're doing. You're good. You can manage this. Okay.
Yeah.
So of these 3 properties, do they all have mortgages on them?
Yes.
Okay. And they're working well, they're generating income. There's what would you say the monthly income that the rentals will generate? On average, I know sometimes one, you've got one is vacant but in general, what's the monthly income?
Okay. It's not as much as it should be.
Why, are you a pushover and you let your tenants take advantage of you?
No, it's just, for years I didn't raise their rent enough. Yeah. But I've learned that lesson. But I would say after all expenses, they're probably generating about $2,300.
That's great. Do you have any other sources of income besides this monthly income? Any, I don't know if your husband had a pension or anything like that. If there any other money that's coming in right now?
Okay, I'm getting spousal Social Security and that's about $31,000 a year. I think they might have just upped it to 32.
Okay.
But then they take, Medicare out of that.
More with Patty in a jiff. It's the Jill on Money Show. We'll be right back.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's Jill on Money. This is the program that attempts to help you out with whatever situation lies in front of you. The way we can help you out is for you to do a tiny bit of work. Go to our website, jillonmoney.com. Click the Contact Us button, write us your note, and let us know if you would be willing to come on the air live. Now, while you're on the website, there's a lot of stuff to consider. We've got all of our content there. We have a free weekly newsletter, comes out every Friday. We also have a service called Jill on Money Live. That's where you have access to quarterly live webinars and lots of cool special content, all for $35. So check it out. We also have another program, and it's on YouTube. It's called Jill on Money, powered by The Compound. Free to you. Just go to YouTube or just go through our website. Okay, right now, let's get back to Patty from North Carolina. What's your game plan for work-wise? Like, what do you think, how much longer are you going to be earning money? I mean, I know you said last year was a particularly good year, but let's say that if it was an average year, would it be more like, instead of 200, more like 150?
150 to 100, probably.
100 to 150. How much longer should we count on that?
I would say at least to 70 or 72.
God, I love you. I don't know what you do, but I love this. This is great.
I enjoy working.
Oh, that's good. It's good to have something to do, especially when you have that kind of tragedy. It's like, what do you sit home and just feel awful? You can just feel awful and make a few bucks along the way. It's not a bad distraction, right?
Yes. No. It's a good distraction.
Good. All right. So you got rental income, you have spousal Social Security, which, I assume that, like, it's about $3,000 a month, but when you get all the stuff taken out, it's probably more like $2,500 a month is my guess. After $2,400 a month, right? Could you live on $2,300 and $2,400? Like, what do you need to live on?
Well, right now I'm bleeding money.
Why is that?
Because the house that I'm living in needs a lot of things. It needs windows. It needs water heaters, roof. So I've got to, spend money on this house.
Okay. But that's like a capital improvement, right? I mean, those are not things like I'm buying a new couch.
Yeah.
How much work do you think needs to get done? I mean, it sounds like you have a lot of experience. You have rental properties. What do you suspect, out of all the cash you have, what should we make sure is set aside for house stuff?
Oh, I would say probably 25 to 30.
All right. If you say 30, I feel like I'm going to say 40, just for the heck of it. We need to keep 40 grand out for the house. So that's not bleeding money. That's saying I am making an investment in this $1.5 million asset that I own, which to me makes a lot of sense. Now, forgetting about those extraordinary expenses, what do you think your ongoing expenses are to live the life of Patty? Like, what does it cost you for the mortgage and the property insurance and your utilities and going out and having some vacations? Like, what do you think you need on an annual or a monthly basis?
Okay. I've been tracking my expenses.
Okay.
And, the rental properties all take care of themselves.
Yes.
But recently it's been around $10,000 a month.
I love how your voice went down. Like, you're embarrassed. What do I care? $10,000 a month. Say it proudly. That's okay. So what? Oh, come on. Don't worry about it. So let's just be clear that out of the 10 grand a month, you have, the money that's coming out of the rentals, $2,300 a month. You have the $2,400 a month from the spousal Social Security benefit. So it's about half of what you need. So that's great. And you make a ton of money. This is actually very good news in that, A, you're going to keep working. B, you have plenty of money. There's nothing bad that's going to happen to you, not financially. So here's my question. You have your fund money accounts. Would you say that it would be helpful if you had a financial advisor to assist you in consolidating and getting money invested? Is that something that you think you want to tackle yourself, or do you think you'd rather have professional help?
Oh, I definitely need professional help. Now, here's my thing, though. I've been reading all these books. I've been listening, and everybody says, don't give a percentage of your portfolio away every year. Mm-hmm. And I have had somebody at Edward Jones who I've not been happy with. Okay.
So you've had one bad experience. You're nervous about paying for additional bad experience, it's additional bad advice. I don't agree with that. Don't pay for advice. I just want to be clear. I really don't. Okay. I think the reason is that, first of all, there are times in your life where it is very helpful to have somebody organize your life, do planning for you, help you invest. That's
Yes.
very obvious to me. And
Yes.
you've just gone through this seismic event in your life. So, the question really becomes, should I pay for that as like one-time help, right? I could pay a fixed amount. Like I could pay someone $10,000 to give me a plan and I'll go execute the plan. That's possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you could say, I have a lot of money. Is it being a little bit naive to say that I refuse to spend 1% or 0.5% or 0.75% of my money on an annual basis when I, essentially, let me just add this up. This is a lot of money. 6, 1, 8. So you have like 2.2, 3, 4, like you have $2.5 million. I mean, I think it's great if you want to do it on your own. I truly believe that if people feel confident in their ability to get things done, then sure, you can do it on your own. This is, you don't have a huge financial planning need as much as you have an organization and get busy kind of need. If you're feeling scattered, it's also because you have, as my friend, the widow, Andrea, likes to say, that she has widow brain. That there's a lot of stuff that happens in the aftermath where you're just not yourself. And it's hard to get a lot of the basics of your life managed. But you're a professional and you're self-employed and you're running your business and you're able to do that. So I'm not saying you must have professional help. I'm not saying that you don't need professional help. I would maybe think about if that would be something that you could use just, either as a one-off or maybe for a few years until you want to take it over yourself. I don't know. I put it out there as a possibility. When I look at this situation and you have someone with all this cash on hand, we need a game plan to get it invested. We know that in the savings and checking, that you have way too much money, you have too much money in the money market accounts. How do we get that invested? And where should you get that invested? If you did it yourself at Fidelity, it's not so difficult to imagine that we could build a portfolio with 4 or 5 different index funds, make sure that you had some money that was safe stuff because, you never know, you don't want to necessarily be on the ride of being on a full stock market ride. But you would get this done and you could do it yourself. I think that you could certainly do this on your own, but I also think it is perfectly reasonable to say, I need someone to hire me. I'm going to hire somebody to do this. And it doesn't have to be forever. You can even say to somebody I need to get you this done. It's important. And instead of, it's almost like renting versus owning. If you hear from somebody oh, I'm renting, I'm throwing my money out the window. Well, no, you're getting something in return for that. There is convenience. You have your money to work for you. For you, it might be, I'd rather hire somebody, get this to work, pay up a little bit for the next couple of years to make sure it's done professionally. And then I can take it over myself if I want. If you need help with some major life event, maybe it is a birth, maybe it's a death, a divorce, a wedding. These are often moments when you are rethinking your financial game plan. So if that's you, get in touch with us. Go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. If you want to join us live, just be sure to check the box. The Jill on Money Show will be right back.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, and we are here answering financial questions or maybe helping you decide how to reset your life. Maybe you're looking for an off-ramp to your potential next endeavor. We'd love to help you. Just go to our website. It's JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. Right now, let's go to Lynn from the Midwest. Welcome to the program. How can we help you out today?
Well, we have some really good news happening in our life. We're selling our business, and lo and behold, we're able to get $1.1 million for it. And we're in our late 40s, early 50s, and just kind of need some guidance as to what to do with it, whether to pay off the house. I already know your answer, I think, or to invest it in a brokerage account, or maybe use it to do some backdoor Roths with what we already have. So just kind of need your guidance.
This is exciting. This is so exciting. So the sale of the business, will that mean you're retiring, or is that sale of the business and continuing to work?
Continuing to work. My husband doesn't like to sit still, so he not only replaced it with one other full-time job, but two full-time jobs, all working kind of from home, very flexible, and just something he loves to continue to do. And I am working alongside him. So
that's awesome. Good for you guys.
Thank you.
On the sale of the business, I'm sure there'll be some taxes that are due. What will the net amount to you guys be?
We believe $875,000 because of a 25% capital gains.
Okay. Well, you know what? You made a lot of money. Good. I'm glad you had a capital gain. Now, if I look at the two of you, your combined income after the sale of this business, what is that? What do you think? And be conservative.
Definitely like $665,000 a year.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You're
I don't
killing
know how
it.
this happened. I don't know how this happened.
Well, it's great. It's an embarrassment of riches. Fantastic. Right. So that's great. Holy smokes. Okay. So that's a lot of moolah. Congratulations. Also, it sounds like you're completely self-made. So this is amazing. The game plan. What is it that you guys really would like to do?
There's a health condition. It's something kind of concerning. It's not something that my husband's going to die from, but rather die with. I would love for him to be, as you say, one bad meeting away from chucking it all, if he wants to, which I don't think he ever will, but it sure would be nice for him to have the option because he works so hard.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
So I don't know, maybe 55, 56. Our youngest will be out of the house at that point. So maybe we could do some traveling or something, or,
that sounds great. How many kids do you guys have?
3, 22, 16, and 11.
11 and 16-year-olds. Do you have money saved for college for them, or what are you thinking?
Probably around, I want to say 9,000 for the 16-year-old, around 35, 40,000 for the 11-year-old. There are reasons there. The 16-year-old, he's Mensa. He's going to have scads of scholarships. The child will go wherever he wants.
Wow.
Truly. But
okay. You're not giving me that but you're like, no, this is for real.
He scares me in my sleep sometimes.
Oh my gosh. Right.
He's just that smart.
All right. And the 11-year-old has a bunch of money. Okay. That's good.
Yeah,
okay. And so right now, Lynn, you make a pile of money. Do you have any idea of how much you need to, what are we going to target in terms of what do you need in terms of expenses? If we do figure out how to get you to slow down at age 55 or so 5, 6, 8 years, how much do we need to produce an income every year?
If we still have a mortgage, maybe $15,000 a month conservatively.
Okay. And will either of you be entitled to a pension?
Unfortunately, no pensions here.
Okay. So, Lynn from the Midwest, you got this $875, but you have a bunch of other money that you have saved. So how have you saved thus far before the $875 input there?
So combined pre-tax is about $1.3 million.
Okay.
And that's made up of $385 in a simple IRA, $908 in an IRA rollover, $20,000 in an individual 401k, and $27,000 in a Roth.
Okay. So the 1.3 pre-tax, what's going to happen once you sell your business? Will your retirement plan change also? I don't know if you had you had employees. No. Okay. So what's the primary way that you save for retirement right now? In the simple?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes. Okay. Because it was through the business. We had SEPs and all the things.
Okay. So, but 1.3 is pre-tax and then a little bit is Roth, right?
Yeah. Very small amount.
Okay. Small. All right. What about a brokerage account?
Nothing yet.
Okay, got it. And what about money in cash, just like savings, checking, CDs?
Between 20 and 50,000, depending on if we
20 to 50,000, depending on if we're living large.
Well, we like to travel.
Where's the last great place you went?
India.
I want to do that.
It's amazing.
We're talking about it next year. Hold on. Let me just figure this out for you first. Okay. So house, you said you got a house with a mortgage. What is the house worth?
About $875.
Okay. And the mortgage that is outstanding?
It is now $541,000 at a 5.75.
So you bought it recently?
Yeah, last summer.
That's okay. You love it? You're going to keep it?
I think so. It's big. We could sell it. We could keep it. We don't know yet.
Like, we kind of got to figure out. You have 10 more years before this 11-year-old gets through college.
Yeah.
So, right?
I'd say we'll probably keep it.
Okay, fair enough. And what else do we need to know about? Do you have parents who are aging?
Yeah, all in their 80s, all somewhat local, all in good health.
Financially?
Yes, they're all very stable, and we have all of our documents in place.
Oh, well done, lady.
I've been listening.
If your husband has a health condition, I presume, does he have insurance, life insurance, or is that no? Does he get rated? What happens?
Yeah, so he has $2 million in term up to age 59, and I recently found in preparation for this call that I also have another $1 million on him that was a variable universal life, and I can't believe I did that. And still,
don't worry.
I'm still paying for it too, though.
Okay. We'll get back to Lynn in just a minute. This is the Jill on Money Show, and we'd love to talk to you. Just go to JillOnMoney.com and click Contact Us.
Welcome back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger takes the mystery out of your finances.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show. And before we went to the break, we were talking to Lynn. Let's get back to her. Tell us about the VUL. So just so everyone understands, I sold a bunch of VUL in the day. I want to tell you why. Because in the 90s, the capital gains rate was the same as the ordinary income tax brackets. So variable universal life was actually a good product. I don't know, you probably didn't buy it in the 90s. I understand, but I'm going to take you off the hook anyway.
Oh, thank you.
So on the $1 million on his life, is there a cash value in that variable universal life policy?
It is. It doesn't have a high value right now, but it is until death, I think, 982,000, something like that.
Yeah, but there should be something that says cash value. Like right now, there should be some amount that says, if you blew out this policy, here's the cash value.
I want to say it was under $1,000.
Oh, okay. When did you buy it?
2009-ish, 2010-ish.
All right. We're going to get more information about that. Okay. There should be something that's called surrender value. Okay. What you're seeking to find out is what would it cost you to just get the money out of this policy and stop paying for it. Now, since you already have the term life, I'm not worried. If you didn't have the term and this was the only insurance we could get for your husband, then I might be worried. Then I might say, let's keep it, even though it's expensive insurance. But you have $2 million of term that will take him until he's age 59. That's awesome. That's fine. Okay. So that's a little bit of your homework. Okay.
Thank you.
Next. So right now on this just massive boatload of money, how much money do you think you could save? What's your free cash flow from that 665? What do you think you can save on a monthly basis?
I mean, if we had to, probably
No. I don't want to say
okay.
if you had to. Like, what do you think is comfortable saving?
I think 15 would be nice.
15 grand or 50?
1.5.
1.5 a month?
Yeah.
Okay, you can save that. Okay.
Yeah, easily.
All right, 15 grand a month savings easily. Mark, come on the air and just tell us what you're thinking about this mortgage. So, Mark, There's a $541,000 mortgage at 5.75%. And Lynn from the Midwest wants to use a portion of the net proceeds of the sale of the business to pay down the mortgage. So what's the answer?
Even though it's a pretty high mortgage rate compared to what we're used to hearing, it's still lower than my current mortgage rate. I wouldn't do it. I still wouldn't do it. Even though my mortgage is 6.25%, I feel no urge to try and pay it off early.
I think that you're going to probably, Lynn, have a chance to either pay it down early or potentially refinance it. And you'll know more information over the course of the next bunch of years. Okay. But I'm inclined to agree with Mark because I like you having access to this 875. I like you seeding, like planting the little garden of your brokerage account. And I think that you take that 875, that's the beginning of your brokerage account, and then you are adding 15 grand a month in there every year while you guys are working. And if your money is piling up like crazy, and you're like, Jill, this is nuts. Our emergency reserve is now swelling to 100,000. Then you can just pop some extra money into that brokerage account. But I think that for all intents and purposes, if we have, early 50s, so 55, we have 6 years to get a lot of money saved. This will give you the opportunity at least to maybe say, in your life, do you think you could go from 665 to zero? Or do we think that it'll be like, well, maybe it's 665 a year. And then in our 50s, it'll go to 3 or is it an all or nothing kind of business, or could you ramp down a bit?
A possibility to ramp down very easily. Yes.
Okay. So here's my game plan. If assuming you agree with this, I would very much think that investing that 875 makes a ton of sense. Number one.
Okay.
Adding 15 grand a month also makes a ton of sense. Are you making contributions to the 11-year-old's education account or not?
Yeah, 150 a month here and there. Yeah.
Of the 875, I think you could put $36,000 in right now into the 11-year-old's account, 18 each. So that would be like your husband and you are each putting 18 grand into the 529 right now. Each. Okay. That will be under the gift tax allowance. Do the same thing next year, and then you're pretty much done. We'll see where the 11-year-old goes. So I would do that. The rest goes in the brokerage account, adding the 15 grand a month. And, listen, I think you have a bunch of money. You don't have so much money that we can easily generate 15 grand a month for, age 55 to 70 till you or 67.
Right.
We need to save money to get you there. Okay. So you're going to, it's amazing. But, as a rule of thumb, when people say to me like, well, what do you think about this? What we're thinking is, Mark, if you say they'll have, let's say by the end of 2024, they're going to have probably $2.5 million saved. It's probably right. Right. Mm-hmm. So what we try to look at is we say, okay, that $2.5 million will grow. Then you're going to continue to put 15 grand a month away, and you're going to continue to make retirement contributions. So all of that together, I think over the next 5-6 years is going to get you to a pretty decent place. We'll finish up with Lynn in just a moment. This is the Jill on Money Show, and if you'd like to join us, go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. We'll be right back. You're back. It's Jill on Money. Before we went to the break, we were talking to Lynn, who's selling her business. Let's get back to her. If you have $5 million in 5 or 6 years, okay, now this is a good heat check for yourselves. Like if it were $3.5 million because the market's collapsed, you would say, well, I don't want to feel like scaling back right now. You're going to feel that. But if it's 5 million, you might be like, I could cut this business in half. It's no problem. And we'll take it easy. We'll live large. And you don't even have to deal with like so much extra money coming out of your portfolio. You just would be taking, maybe you just wouldn't save as much. You know, if you said, oh, I'm going to live instead of 665 a year, we're going to live on 300 grand a year. And now we don't need to save 15 grand a month. Like that could all easily happen. But I think that while you're making this much money, I would aggressively put the money into a brokerage account. I would make sure that you are, you know, almost automating it, because it sounds like you're not used to making this much money so quickly. And so we want to get that money in there. And how are you feeling about investing on your own? Is that something you feel good about? Do you feel a little nervous about it? Do you need some help?
I think I'm great with a brokerage account. All of our other assets are managed through Schwab, and you know, we're actively managed. We're paying for that, but through brokerage, I feel great. And what mix would you recommend?
It's 5 or 6 years, right? How's your risk tolerance? Like, what do you feel? Tell me about how you guys handle risk.
Super aggressive.
You are?
Super
I love that
aggressive.
about you. I mean, you could go 70 in U.S., 10 in international. You can go 15 in a bond index, 5 in commodities, maybe. That would be fine.
Okay.
But I wouldn't go crazy. I think you're awesome. I'm glad you have your documents. It's a great story. It's a great, great story. If you'd like to join us live, just go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write your note. And if you'd like to join us on the air live, just check that box and we'll get you on the air live. While you're on the website, be sure to check out all the content that lives there. The Jill on Money Show will be right back.
It's the weekend, and that can only mean one thing. You're listening to Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, the program that attempts to take the mystery out of your financial life. Now, we cannot do this alone, because even though both producer Mark and I are certified financial planners, we need your input. That means if you've got a financial question, if there's a concern, if there's something going on in your life that remotely touches your money, well, then we would love to help you out. All you need to do is go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write your note. And if you'd like to join us on the air live, just check that box and we'll get you on the air live. While you're on the website, be sure to check out all the content that lives there. And if a weekend program is not enough, we also have 2 podcasts. We've got Jill on Money, our daily podcast, and we've got the Money Watch podcast, which drops twice a week. The links to those podcasts are on the front door of our website, JillOnMoney.com. Okay, right now, let's talk to Brian, who is on the line from New Jersey. Hello, Brian. How are you?
Great. Great. How are you guys today?
You're very low key. Tell us why. What's so, you see, either you just have some edibles or what happened?
No, I'm coming down with a little cold. My son's sick.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, tell us what we can do for you.
So we kind of have a dilemma. My wife and I have some cash on the sidelines that we're looking to invest, but just they're not sure where to put it. We have an advisor who's not sure, doesn't really want to put it into the market this year, I guess because of the election.
What? Because of the election? Who cares about that? That's a dumb reason. But okay. All right, fine. Let's move on from that. I don't want to trash your advisor so early in our conversation. How much cash is on the sidelines, Brian?
There is $500,000 sitting in a couple high yield savings accounts.
How did this money, where did this money come from? Did you inherit it? Was it a lump sum? Did you kill it on something, buy something, sell something? How did $500,000 accumulate?
Just over the years, my wife and I saving, So a little bit of the money was left to me a few years ago, and just being good savers and just putting it away over the years and just not knowing, nervous and not knowing what to do with it.
Okay.
And
Brian, how old are you?
I am 40 years old.
40. And what about your wife?
She is 38.
Do you guys have children?
Yes.
How old are they?
We have a 6 and a 4-year-old.
Do you have money saved for them for education in the future?
Yes, we do. We have 529 plans for both of them, and they have about 20,000.
20,000 each?
Yes.
Okay, great. Are you guys both working? One staying home? What's happening?
Yes, both work.
Okay, how much do you guys earn?
Total, roughly 250.
Okay. And are you both making contributions to retirement plans based on that?
My wife is maxing out her 401k.
Mm-hmm.
Where I work now, I don't have one.
Oh, startup land?
No, just if a small company doesn't offer it. Doesn't
Okay.
offer it yet.
So are you putting money away in anything on your own behalf?
No.
Okay. So is her 401k pre-tax or Roth?
Mostly pre-tax.
Uh-huh. How much money is in that account now?
800,000.
Wow. You just like flip off hundreds of thousands of dollars with very little emotion. 800,000 pre-tax. How much would you say is in the Roth?
100 probably.
Okay. Do you have old retirement accounts that are somewhere?
I do. Yes.
What do you got?
I do have, it's an old 401k, and that one is 300,000.
Okay. Is it still at the plan provider, or have you rolled it into an IRA rollover?
It is still at the plan provider, and that was another thing, what to get that out of there, maybe.
Maybe not. And what about in brokerage account or cash on hand? The stuff that's already been taxed. What assets do you have there?
The 500,000 cash, and a brokerage account is just around $50,000.
And where do you guys do that?
That is a Vanguard fund.
Great. Okay, perfect. So, Brian, house, renting, owning, what do you got?
Yes, we own a house, the mortgage on it. We still have about 200,000 left.
Mm-hmm.
On the
What's the
mortgage.
interest rate?
3.5.
Okay, great. And what do you guess the house is worth? I know you're probably not selling it anytime soon, but what's the estimate?
Like 600,000.
Okay. When you save for college for you guys, for these kids, are you trying to save to pay for a public or a private education?
Really didn't have one picked out, but we plan on not paying for all of it. We plan on like having them take a loan out.
You want them to suffer? Did you suffer?
Suffer a little bit.
Oh, I love that when people say to me, skin in the game. I'm like, okay, that's fine for a poker game. The kids are not going to be happy. But you're right. I understand why. You said you have an advisor. What is this advisor doing for you? Is this a fee-only advisor? Is this an advisor for the brokerage fund? Like, where is this person inserting his or her influence on you?
We have another account, advisor tax managed account. So I do the Vanguard fund, but the advisor does the other fund.
And how much is in there?
300,000.
My God, you're so low key, and you got like $1 million, more than $1 million.
And he's 40.
And he's 40, so I'm kind of freaking out about that. Is this an advisor? Okay, how do we pay the advisor?
I think the total fee comes out to a little over 1%, 1.1, 1.2.
So it's just a straight percentage of assets under management.
Yes.
Did the advisor do an actual financial plan for you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So does that mean you have life insurance as well? You have that already taken care of?
Yes. All that's taken care of.
What do you have in terms of insurance? How much and what kind?
Just life insurance.
Yeah, like term life?
Term, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
It's a $2 million policy.
Okay. And for both on each of you?
That is just my wife.
Mm-hmm. She's the one who's really more important also.
Yeah.
And yours is how much?
It's 70,000. It's just through work.
Is the differential so huge between your income? Like if you were to drop dead, aren't we worried about that? How much do you earn? Like out of the 250, what's you, what's her?
Oh, mine is the roughly 40,000.
Okay. Even so, can you buy more through work or not? Probably not, since you don't even have a 401k.
No.
I think you need more life insurance. Even if you were to drop dead, your wife would probably still need some extra money, help, something. Mark, how much more life insurance on poor Brian, who doesn't value his own life?
Considering how much money they have, I mean, there's no reason why, just for the heck of it, he should go get $1 million.
I would think. I mean,
It's not going to be expensive.
Yeah, I mean, you don't smoke, do you?
No.
All right. So if you can, I would get some cheap term life insurance, even if it's just like for 10 years.
Okay.
Really, 10, 15, 20. Go look at what it's very cheap for you. You're healthy, you're young. Okay. Estate documents are in place. You got a will, you have a power of attorney. Okay, good.
Yep. It's all taken care of.
We'll get back to Brian in just a minute. Do you have cash on the sidelines? Do you need some help? We'd love to assist you. All you need to do is go to the website JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. We'll be right back.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's Jill on Money, and we are here trying to help you make better financial decisions. They don't have to be the best. They have to be the right decisions for you. So if you have something going on that requires a little bit of assistance, or maybe you've got a difference of opinion with a partner, with a parent, with an adult child, give us a holler. Go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. Let's get back to Brian from New Jersey. Can I understand about the advisor for a second? So how did you get involved with this person?
Just for a recommendation from
A friend.
someone. Yeah.
But you feel comfortable managing the Vanguard account on your own?
Yes. Yeah.
And is it just, tell me what's in that Vanguard account?
That has a few stocks and some large cap, small cap, and some dividend funds.
Okay. But they're just plain old Vanguard funds. They're not like, are you buying index funds mostly, or are they
Yes,
using?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there any reason why you think this advisor is worth 1.1% a year and you're not? Like, I feel like you should just blow that advisor out. And first of all, the idea that someone would say to you, let's wait till after the election, that is incredible to me. And I don't think that that's why I would do anything. And also, unless you tell me that you need some part of this 500 grand within the next 5 years, which I don't think you do, given everything you've said, I don't think that makes any sense to me, which is why I want to fire this person. Here's what I would do with the 500. Are you in the New Jersey 529 plan?
No, it is.
I get a guess. Let me just guess. Let me guess. Let me guess that this is something like the Rhode Island 529 plan that the advisor put you in.
No, I don't.
thank
I
God.
can't find the paperwork. It may be like Virginia or
But
somewhere.
is this a plan that the advisor put you in?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Okay.
You
There we
you get a tax deduction to use the New Jersey plan.
This is why I'm going to fire this guy. I don't usually say that, do I? I really don't. Now, what you need to do, number one, is you need to go to the New Jersey 529 plan, which is called the NJ Best. What you can do is, I'm pretty sure you can just roll that other money into the old 529s into this new 529. The New Jersey taxpayers, your gross income has to be 200 grand or less. I don't know if that's household or individual. You'll have to check on this. I mean, just to be clear, this may make me want her to keep putting pre-tax money.
Right, exactly. Get them
Okay.
below that threshold.
So if she's putting in, maxing out her retirement account, you guys, do you file itemized or do you deductions? Do you file with the standard? Do you know?
No, it's just a standard.
Can they get down? I'm looking. So that's 30. I think they can almost make 200. We'll have to look. We'll see. Anyway, what I would like you to try to consider is trying to get this tax deduction if you can. And by the way, I think you should also think about the fact that you've got this 500 grand. So I would start putting some more money into these 529s up front. This was the big miss on the advisor's desk, which is I got 500 grand that's accumulating in a high yield savings account. You could keep that same 500 grand inside of a 529 plan, which is not going to be tapped for, more than a decade, and grow tax free. So I think you guys at the very least should start to think about maybe pre-funding the 529s. Would you be okay if we just said to you, I think you'll probably be able to do this, but let's say I said, out of the 500, I want you to put 100 in the 4-year-old's account and 100 in the 6-year-old's account. Would you be okay with that?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, good. So what I think you should do is is that 100 enough, Mark? If we're not sure if Mr. Skin in the Game wants these kids to help, is 100 enough or should it be more?
I would start with 100. I mean, they're still young. You've got time for this money to grow.
Okay, so number one, move the 529 accounts from Virginia and, let me go bigger picture. Number one, fire the advisor. Number two, take the 529 money and roll it into the New Jersey plan. Get someone on the phone there, say, we want to make a lump sum deposit into this account. It will come first from their old 20 grand in each of the old plans, and we want to put an additional 100 grand in. What do we need to do, or is there a tax document we need to file? They'll tell you that. So now I only have 300 grand in savings, right? So I'm going to take the 300 from your tax managed. I'm going to roll it into your brokerage account at Vanguard. Now you've got 350 there. If you're really nervous about dumping all this money in at once, what I would do is I would say, you know what? Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But at the very least, let me get going. So if you're really nervous, you can just do like 15 or 20 grand a month. I personally would do 50 grand a month and get this thing invested. If your advisor's right and the market falls apart, so be it. You're in it for a long time. You don't need this money. And you're going to keep working, right? How much longer do you think you're going to work? You've got kids who are 6 and 4 years old. Aren't you going to work till they're in college?
Oh, yeah, 65.
Okay. And by the way, I mean, not so terrible that you actually have this money that's built up. It's great. You're awesome savers. But we have to be a little bit more intentional about getting it to work for you. And, even just sitting around and waiting like, oh, I'm going to wait for the election, which, again, a ridiculous statement. I remember what happened last election. That was the shock when everyone's like, oh, the market's going to crater if Donald Trump wins. And they were right for like 5 hours, because I know I was reporting every single hour about the futures market, and then the markets came back. So I don't think the markets are going to actually collapse in any way, shape, or form. Could be in the short term. Sure, you could have a week or 2 weeks if like there's a contested election, but you've got a 20-year horizon. There's nothing you're doing with your money within 20 years, then come on, we have to be better about getting that money to work. So pick the number that you and your wife can feel good about. Like if you say, honey, I want to start putting 50 grand a month, and she's like, holy moly, that scares me. Then say, all right, how does 40? Like, what's the number that's okay? And let's get it to work. You're in great shape. You're unbelievable. You really are. Is there anything I'm missing, Mark Talercio?
No, I mean, it's incredible that 38 years old, they've saved all this money essentially on their own. It's
amazing.
It's pretty impressive.
It's so impressive.
And they live in a high cost of living area. They're making good money. They're not knocking it out of the ballpark. It's crazy how much they've saved.
Yeah. You don't live very big. Do you know how much you actually spend every month?
I do not, but we live way below our means. Drive used cars.
Don't you have any hobbies? What's your hobby? Oh, we walk. What do you do? How do you get? Where's all you know what their hobby is? Watching their interest statements get bigger and bigger every single year.
Taking care of the kids.
Oh yeah.
I think
well, yes. Wait till that, and it's only going to get worse. But I think that you guys are in such good shape. I really feel strongly for everyone listening. When you have an advisor who is suggesting that you use a 529 plan that is not your state plan, the thing to ask the advisor is, wait, should I use my state plan? Because you weren't making 250 grand for all this time while the money was being, while you were gathering up this high yield savings. So it seems to me that somebody is missing an opportunity to save you money on taxes. That's a yellow flag. The red flag is they put you in a plan that's not your state's plan and they get paid on it. So I think that the clues that have been laid out for us would help us deduce that you don't need this person. You're fine. You guys are great. If you need somebody, once you're in Vanguard, you can certainly take them up on the Vanguard personal advisor. If you really wanted somebody, sure, great. Then, you can get it may not be a customized retirement plan, but it'll be a CFP. And I don't know, that could be something that's really helpful. The Vanguard personal service advisor, I think their minimum is still 50 grand. If you're feeling a little skittish and you want someone else to help you out, maybe talk to someone there. But otherwise, I think you can do it. I think you can do this on your own. I think everything is going to be great for you. You're in amazing shape. That's your overall messaging here. I think we can fix the other things. If you have follow-up questions, do not hesitate. Get back in touch with us. Okay, Brian?
All right, great. Thank you. I appreciate it.
If you would like to run a scenario by us, just give us a holler, JillOnMoney.com, and click the Contact Us button.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
You're back. It's Jill on Money. We're answering your financial questions. Let's address an email. This one is from Dylan. Good morning. I recently started listening to your podcast. Oh, I love new listeners. And Dylan says, I appreciate the advice that you provide about real world concerns. I am a physician with more than 20 years of experience. I'm going to retire from the military, transition to civilian employment in mid-2025. I'm seeking a second opinion about how to best continue saving for retirement and investing as I begin the next stage of my medical career. All right. Current plan, work part-time at a regional hospital, and the income will change from being a W-2 to a 1099 employee. Holy smokes, Mark. Dylan's going to make $300 grand.
Part-time.
Part-time? If my physical health and cognitive fitness permit, I might say my physical health, and I would put cognitive first probably. My goal is to earn $300 grand a year for the next 10 years, then downshift to 150 for another 5 or 6 years, fully retiring by age 70. My wife and I are both 52. Upon retirement from the military, I will receive a pension of 85 grand a year. During my military career, I've maxed out my thrift savings plan every year and largely neglected my traditional IRA. I also prioritize saving for college for our kids. My wife had to give up her professional practice due to a major health issue. Oh my God. She's working part-time. We're uncertain how much longer she'll be able to do that. We have 2 kids. One's a freshman in college. Younger one is in high school. They're using the GI Bill to pay for the oldest daughter's college. And then Dylan's going to direct the military retirement toward paying for the younger daughter's college. That's great. We should be able to preserve their 529 plans, $200 grand each for professional or graduate school. Interesting. Our current financial status is favorable. I'm less concerned about having enough and more concerned about wealth transfer and future tax liability. Okay. You ready for this, Mark? There are a lot of investments here. So there's a traditional thrift savings plan, 1.1 million, mostly in a target date fund. Traditional IRAs, 200 grand, stocks and bonds. Roth, 100 grand. Brokerage, 156. Money market, $254,000. Savings accounts, $377,000 combined. I see why there's not a worry about any of this. Checking accounts, CDs, let's see, 68, like another 90. They've got a primary home, 1.3 million with about 600 grand owned, a rental property, 740 with 550 owed, vacation home owned outright, 550. Everything's at Vanguard. They signed up for their personal advisor select service. No other debt. High cost of living state. Monthly rent covers mortgage, taxes, property management, blah, blah, blah for the rental. Term life insurance, $3 million, also disability. Lastly, we establish a donor-advised fund with Vanguard Charitable, and we intend to contribute more than 10% of our annual income to that. Wow. What's the best vehicle to save post-military? I'm leaning toward an individual 401k, which would allow me to save more than 76 grand. Okay. Yes to that. But Mark, that should be a solo Roth 401k, right?
I would do solo Roth for sure.
I mean, I know
even though he'll be making 300 grand.
Just do it.
He's got a lot of pre-tax.
He's got a lot of pre-tax. So that's that. Should you continue contributions to IRAs? No. Put it in the brokerage. How do we transfer wealth to our daughters now? They have a joint savings account with each daughter. Plan to open a joint brokerage account with my second daughter after she turns 18. Let me get back to that in a second. Given our current assets and projected income over the next 15 years, what are the best methods for minimizing future tax liabilities for after full retirement age?
Roth.
Yeah, Roth, number one. Let me just also say about the thing about the charitable account. I want to just put this out there. One of the things that you can do is look at that brokerage account and use that to put into your Vanguard charitable by using low cost basis index funds, because it says it's moderately conservative and index fund. I'm betting that money has climbed in value. So use that asset to get you going. And, if you can put 50 grand in there right now and just make sure or you can wait, whatever you want. But I would use that as my account. Second of all, you have too much money in saving and checking. This is insanity to me. So the saving account is you got almost $400,000 in savings accounts. Get that invested in the brokerage account. That's the next thing. In terms of your future tax liability, you're going to have a heck of a problem getting that $1 million out of the thrift savings plan, because that alongside your traditional IRA, $1.3 million in pre-tax money, you're going to get slammed when you start to be required to take money out. So I think this year, while you are still earning somewhat less money, I don't know how much you actually, because I don't think that we said how much they're making in the military. Let's presume it's less than 300, right? I would probably take the traditional IRAs, those 200 grand right now. I would convert that to a Roth IRA. I would do at least 100 this year. And hopefully you stay in the 24% tax bracket. I think that would be a good do. If you could convert that whole thing right now, pay the tax that's due with money that's in the savings account, I think I would do that. So I might try to convert it now while hopefully you're making a little less money, and maybe again next year when your half of the year is, your income will go up for the second half of the year, but it won't be total. But I would try to get that traditional IRA converted to a Roth. So that's what I would think. And as much as you can in the future, you'll want to start converting when your tax bracket is low. Anything else they should be thinking about? Enjoy yourself. Wow. Here's your second opinion, Doc.
Yeah, I don't get the whole, I'm not quite sure about the whole preserving the 529 thing.
I don't know either. I would just use it. What if you, are we, maybe that they know that one of the kids will go onto higher ed, to graduate school, but
they've got 400,000 saved combined.
I would use that too. I would use that also. You're right. Agree. All right. Live in good health and good luck. If you'd like to get in touch, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. The Jill on Money Show will be right back.
Welcome back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger takes the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's Jill on Money, and we are here trying to help you make better financial decisions or maybe navigate whatever lies in front of you. If there is something going on, just go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and we'll get your note. If you'd like to join us live, we're happy to have you. Just check that box. If you're a little shy, we do emails. For example, we're about to do an email, and this one is from Lisa, who's switching jobs from one with a pension to one likely without a pension. Because of my pension, we are allocated entirely in equities and no bonds. I would like to move our allocation to 20% bonds. Should I do it all at once, slowly, or with new contributions? I say all at once. Mark, you want to vote on that?
All at once. Yeah, I agree.
All at once. Okay.
But where is this coming from? I mean, it's a pension.
Well, I mean, unless
is she talking about new contributions with the new job?
Unless she got a cash out of the pension. I guess that's the only thing I could think about it. I'm not sure. Not sure about that. So make sure we understand the source of that on the rebalancing question. Okay. Next. This is from one of the great family friends of the show, the Anonymous family. And it's about a Roth conversion. And Anonymous says, I love listening to the podcast. Okay. Age, it says hypothetically. I don't know if that means yes, but here's the situation. 60 years old, $1.5 million in a pre-tax IRA, 600 grand in a Roth, and 400 grand in a brokerage account with long-term capital gains. Income plus an inherited required minimum distribution, $132,000. Okay. So tax filing, single. I've got a mortgage of $130,000 remaining at 2.5%, 16 more years. Current plan, convert 45 grand in 2024 this year and remain in the 24% top income tax bracket. Okay. You ready for your question, Mark? Because it's coming to you. Is Ed Slott / Mark implying instead to convert an extra $200,000 to $500,000 in 2024 and in 2025, bumping up my highest rate to 32%? She'd pay the tax due by selling 100 grand in her brokerage account, causing an additional capital gains hit of $15,000 in taxes. Selling minus taxes, 85 grand to pay towards the tax bill. Summarizing, should I convert 230 grand, pop up to the next tax bracket, or potentially, since I'm over 59 and a half, should I just withdraw 100 grand from the IRA, adding to my income and pay the tax bill? This seems like a lot. What do you think? Would you do it? Mark, it was directed to you, so I get to bring you on to answer it.
I would probably just withdraw. I mean, the current plan of converting $45,000 a year, that's not going to do anything. This is $1.5 million IRA, $45,000 a year. It's not going to do anything. It's probably going to earn more than that throughout the course of the year. So I would just start withdrawing.
I would withdraw also. I would just withdraw. You're 60, maybe I don't know what you're going to live on and what's happening, but I will just say that as far as I'm concerned, pull the money out, pay the tax that's due, add it to the brokerage account, and think about going forward whether you're going to be claiming Social Security later at, say, age 70 and living on this money and go from there. I like that. So that was an easy one. This is from Marcia. My husband and I recently finished paying for a Chapter 13 bankruptcy last year. We have sufficient funds in our IRA. We're not old enough to access them without penalty. We need to replace our septic system for our home. We do not want to withdraw funds out of our IRA. Banks will not lend to us, right, because of the bankruptcy. What should us hardworking homeowners do? You should check. There is a 10% penalty exception this year for emergency expenses. You should check that out. That could be some part of it. It may not be everything. It may be some part of it. Septic systems are very expensive. Otherwise, are you not working full time? That's the other question. Okay, here's the thing. If I had a full-time job with a 401k, I would take my IRAs, I'd roll it into the 401k plan, and I'd borrow against it. That's what I would do. If you're not working, then how old are you and what's going on? I really need to know what else is happening. So I get it. I want to know a little bit more about you so we can come up with a better funding plan. Last question of the day is from Bill. This is just for you. This is in honor of my deceased mother-in-law. We want to get out of our timeshare. Is there a legal way to do it? If not, would stopping our yearly maintenance fees adversely affect our credit rating? As my deceased mother-in-law liked to say, timeshares are for suckers. She said that in response to my brother-in-law, who was explaining how happy he was about his new timeshare. So there is a legal way to do it. You can sell it on a secondary market. You'll get pennies on the dollar. If you stop paying your yearly maintenance fees, it could adversely affect your credit rating. On the other hand, are you borrowing money anytime soon? Because maybe it doesn't matter. These timeshares are just absolutely beastly to get out of. So that's what I would try. Other than that, don't buy timeshares, gang. I'm sorry. You could, I wonder, maybe you could gift it to somebody. Here, take it and just take on the maintenance. That would be the best thing to do, just to get out of it. Ugh. If you have a question, just go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and we'll get your note. We'd be delighted to help you out. Don't forget to bookmark JillOnMoney.com because all of our content lives there and we refresh it all the time. The Jill on Money Show. We will be right back. Welcome back. It's Jill on Money, and we are here answering financial questions or issues that you bring up. And we are always so happy that you check out our website, JillOnMoney.com. If you've got a question or a comment, just hit that Contact Us button. That's what Dave did. And Dave was writing in about my recent article that was about fraud called Stop the Scam. That lives on our website as well. Dave brings up another area of fraud that is so important, and it is called check washing. Here's how the scam works. Thieves go ahead and steal physical checks, and oftentimes in bulk from U.S. Postal Service mail collection boxes. They then use common chemicals. Think of nail polish remover, for example, and they erase or wash the payee and the dollar amount, but they preserve the check's original signature. Now, remember, these scammers can basically profit from making checks out to themselves or selling the stolen or signed bank checks. So, to protect yourself against these types of scams, it is important to try to go directly to a post office if you are dropping off your mail. And I think that that's incredibly important because it may be the best way to avoid this. Also, I would be very clear that the post office itself says that you should be using black gel pens because they may have ink that thieves have a harder time erasing compared to, say, a standard ballpoint pen. I think most importantly, it is to review your checking account regularly, look out for an unusual or an unexpected withdrawal from your bank account, try to take time to confirm when your check's clear, and of course, use electronic banking because that can avoid all of this. If you have experienced check washing, contact your bank immediately, file a police report, and report it to the United States Postal Inspection Service. Okay, that is it. That is our program. Our music is composed by Joel Goodman. Mark Talercio is our executive producer and king of all things web. We like to encourage you to lift someone up today. It'll help that person. It will help you. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.